Hi, Facebook. This is Krisha Young here, your Delicious Life coach and sabotage slayer. And I wanted to hop on here live to talk about an issue that comes up on occasion with my one-on-one clients and clients in my group programs. And that is the issue around jealousy. And not everybody wants to admit that they feel jealous because, I think the majority of people know it's not a real good high vibe place to be. But let's be honest, like sometimes we are jealous of other people and envious and whatever word you want to put on it. It's a real human reaction, emotion, if you want to call it. And nobody is immune to it. Everybody kind of has that sense of like, oh, I wish I had that thing. And where the next level, the more sophisticated level of thinking that I teach my clients around these types of things is to really take a look at what jealousy actually is, what envy actually is, and what it normally is a reflection of what you are not allowing to be, do, or have in your own life, right? And that's often a tough pill to swallow, especially if the jealousy is accompanied by some sort of bitterness, right? And it's more of a negative, heavier sort of jealousy or envy towards somebody. But the truth underneath that is generally a sense of you being not happy with yourself that you don't have that thing or you're not being that thing. And I would suggest that if there is a person, a situation, or a thing, or whatever that you're feeling jealous about or you're feeling envious about, rather than looking at it from like, oh man, I wish I had that, or I wish I could do something like that, or, who does she think she is to have that? That's the more negative side of jealousy. Who do they think they are to have that, to be that, to do that, right? Like, do a good little audit check, a real honest audit check of what this thing is that you might be feeling jealous or envious about. And then the most powerful thing that you can do is shine that flashlight off that person and onto yourself and ask yourself the hard question, where am I not giving myself this thing? Where am I not being this thing? Where am I not having or doing this thing, right? Those are the deeper, more sophisticated questions that you can turn it around, ask it of yourself, and then find ways in which to create that for yourself in your own way, right? We are trailblazers. We break the rules here at Krisha Young and in the Delicious Life umbrella, right? Like, we're not looking for this conformity. And I think this is partially what trips up a lot of the women in my community is that, there's society's way of doing and having things. And then there's the adventurous way. Then there's like the fun way. Then there's like the kind of quirky and different and unique way. And the majority of like all of my clientele really prefer the unusual. However, it hits up against society and, other beliefs that their family may have, or religious beliefs or something like that, that says this way of living, this unique way of living isn't right for you. And so I would imagine that probably some of the things that you might be jealous of are people who maybe have a freedom lifestyle, are people who travel a lot, are people who are unapologetic about themselves and who are confident and who can say no without feeling guilty. And, there's probably some things there that are more along the lines of having more freedom and flexibility in your life that you're not allowing, you're not giving yourself, right? Case in point for me, when I used to work in corporate, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that like I was meant for entrepreneurship until I opened the door to entrepreneurship. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is where I belong my whole entire life. But prior to that, I wasn't exposed to it. And so I was working in corporate jobs, which were great, but I was constantly jealous and envious of those people who were maybe working out of a Starbucks or had more of a freedom lifestyle. Like it was such a deep, deep, deep envy that I knew it had something to do with my soul calling. So that's what I would ask for you is take a little bit of an audit, take a look around, see what you tend to get like jealous about or envious about in other people. And then shine that flashlight on yourself and say, okay, where am I not giving myself my version, your version, not their version, your version of what that looks like, right? And it might be a little painful to look at this because it's like, oh crap, okay, I've been denying myself this thing for a really long time. But I promise you, when you start to look at these, kind of little scarier corners, that is where the truth is. That is where your purpose lies. That is where happiness lies. And when you can, be brave and navigate your way through these not icky, but the stickier parts, that's when you'll start to feel like so much lighter and freer and happier and more abundant and all that kind of stuff. So give yourself the gift of taking a look at where you do feel jealous and envious, and shine that flashlight back on yourself and say, okay, where am I not giving myself this thing? And how can I start to take baby steps towards this thing? And I guarantee somewhere in there, you have a little bit of a buried dream that you've been stuffing down and ignoring and ignoring and ignoring because maybe it feels too big, or you don't feel good enough for it, or it feels something. There's something there. On our group call last night, one of my clients in the program had a massive aha about this thing that she's been wanting to do since she was a little girl. And she kept stuffing it down and stuffing it down and stuffing it down and ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it. And all of that ended up creating a whole bunch of chaos and anxiety in her life because she was ignoring it. And last night she emerged with this new thing that she wants to do, and I'm so proud of her. And it was such an emotional release for her. She was crying, but it was like good crying, and it was like, oh my God, yes, like, and it was her sole purpose that emerged from that level of introspection and reflection that she'd been doing, being part of my programs. And that's all I want for you. So go out there and be brave and be bold and take a look at these darker corners, because that is where the light lives. That is where happiness lives. That is where, you'll find that abundance and that ease and that grace and that flow and that like more chill way of living that is also helping you manifest and bring in like a kick-ass life, right? So take a look at those areas that you're feeling a little bit jealous or envious about, and make sure that you write a comment, or like, let's keep the conversation going. Yesterday I did a live stream as well about going from thinking about things happening to you versus things happening for you. I still want to know what you think about that. And let me know what something that you might be jealous of or envious of, that you might need a little, coaching or advice or tweaking or something to help you shift it so that you can see what your next steps might need to be in order for you to start doing the things that you're seeing maybe in others that you wish that you could be doing yourself. All right. I can't tell you how much greener the grass is on the other side of this work. It's not easy to go through, but it is so worth it. And, you know, I highly, highly recommend this level of deeper transformative work for anybody who is serious about getting to your next level and your next edge. And speaking of that, I mentioned yesterday that I do have a new group program that's going to be launching in the fall. It is exclusive. It's invitation only. It's 12 weeks long, and it is all about the intrapreneur. So it will have more of a business focus. So if you are an entrepreneur or business owner, or you're looking to get into that space, you already have an idea, you have a product or something that you want to bring to market, and you understand how valuable mindset is to business, and you want to learn more and go deeper into each of those pockets, then this is the program for you. There will be a little bit of strategy taught. I'm bringing in guest experts for strategy, but this is mostly all building up that inner core that you need to have as an entrepreneur, as a human, in order to be able to create the life that you love. So if this is something that's exciting to you, you want to learn a little bit more, send me a PM. We'll hop on a call. We'll see if this is the right fit for you going forward. And in the meantime, I want to hear from you about the jealousy envy piece. You can take a look at my video from yesterday as well about the things happening to you versus for you. Let's have a conversation. I want to hear from you guys about what you think about what I'm saying. Even if you don't agree, I want to hear. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining on live. I see that there's quite a few people on here. Dawn, Sarah. Oh, hey, Sarah. Stephanie, Marta, Jennifer, Cheryl, Ann, Andy. Hey, Andy. Amanda. Hi. Janine, Errol. That's so great to see all of you guys. I feel like that show, you know, and I don't know if you remember as a kid, there was a show probably just up in Canada. I don't even remember what it was called, but she had like a little mirror and she used to like name all the kids' names. And I was always waiting for my name to be called. And of course it never was, because I have like a weird name and probably my parents never wrote it in, but that's what I feel like there for a second. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this live stream, and let's keep the conversation going. I want to hear from you. So type in the comments where you're at with things, and I'll see you on the next live stream. And if you're interested in this new group program that I've got going on, send me a PM. Thank you so much. I'm Krisha Young, your delicious life coach and sabotage slayer, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.